This video will discuss the homework on participles from the text from chapter 4. So in 4.5, it asks you to identify the participle and draw an arrow to the noun that it is modifying. So in number 6, we have learning a second language from his parents. This is the participle phrase modifying the noun, the baby. Notice the comma separating the participle from the subject of the independent clause, the baby. So in 7, the sentence finishes with the participle phrase immersing themselves in the language for 6 months, and this is giving us more information about the students. In number 8, which students are we talking about? We're talking about those studying a foreign language. So studying a foreign language is the participle modifying students. Number 9, motivation is an important factor for someone. So trying to learn a second language is telling us about what kind of person, which someone, for someone trying to learn. There's an interesting research question. So interesting is the participle and interesting is modifying research. In 4.6, we're asked to add punctuation to these sentences. So learning a lot of vocabulary, comma, I watch Spanish soap operas for an hour each day. So notice here that the comma separates the participle from the independent clause. So where the independent clause starts, we have I watch Spanish soap operas. So the comma says, hey, this next word, this next noun phrase, that's the subject of the sentence. So in 7, the first language learned by a child is her link to her culture. Here, there is not a comma because learned by a child is important information. We need that information in the sentence. So therefore, we need no commas here. So in 6, we add a comma because learning a lot of vocabulary isn't especially important. It's extra. However, in 7, learned by a child is important identifying information. Number 8, we do add the commas. So spoken by few people after colonization. There is one Hawaiian, right? Because there is one Hawaiian language, this is just extra information about one thing, right? If there were many types of Hawaiian, then there would not be commas because we would need that information to help us identify which one. But the commas here actually tell us, hey, there's just one. This is extra information about that one. So in 4.8, we are determining whether the item is a participle or a gerund. In number 6, we can see that it's a participle. Learning is answering an essential adjective question. Well, what kind of strategies? Learning strategies. We could delete it from the sentence. Has good strategies. That works fine. We can delete participles, remember? But it's not a gerund. We couldn't put a pronoun there. We couldn't say has good its strategies, right? So number 6 is not a gerund. 7, practicing the language can help learning. Yeah, this is a gerund. We can substitute a pronoun in this spot. It can help learning. That works fine. And actually we have a second gerund here, learning. It can help this. So learning can also be substituted by a pronoun. Using the audiolingual method, my teacher made us listen. So this is a participle. You couldn't substitute this with a pronoun. You couldn't say it, comma, my teacher, right? That doesn't work. So that can't be, that's not a gerund. So this is a participle. Number 9, language learning is more than memorizing vocabulary. So it is more. So language learning is a gerund phrase, and memorizing is actually a verb there. So 10, young children acquiring language. So which young children? Young children playing basketball? Young children studying math? No, young children acquiring language. So acquiring language is a participle, right? It would be wrong to say young children it, right? You can't do that, so it can't be a gerund. 4.9, here in 4.9, focusing is a participle. It's helping us identify which universities we are talking about. So in number 7, so we have most university students sitting in foreign language classrooms will never achieve fluency in the second language. So which students are we talking about? We're talking about those in a foreign language classroom. So this is a participle function. This is an adjective. Again, in number 8, those immersed in a foreign language. So immersed in a foreign language is helping us identify those. So we have all of these people, but we're talking specifically about those immersed in a foreign language. In number 9, interacting and conversing. So which people are we talking about? We're talking about the ones interacting and conversing. And then in number 10, speaking more than 2 languages. An adult speaking more than 2 languages. So speaking more than 2 languages is modifying an adult.